In 1974, Donald Dutton and Arthur Aaron had a theory that sometimes the brain misinterprets an emotion as being something that it's not. Particularly in their experiment, they questioned whether sometimes the brain interpreted fear and the arousal that came from fear as romantic arousal. And so they conducted the Rickety Bridge experiment in British Columbia. They had two sets of men. One set was asked to cross a really high suspension bridge. I think it was called the Capilano Bridge or something like that in British Columbia. So a bridge that was really high and really scary. And the other set of men were asked to cross a low, safe wooden bridge close to the ground, not scary. And as each set of men crossed the bridge, two separate female researchers would come in the opposite direction, encounter them, and ask them to write a story about their experience of fear after they finished crossing the bridge. And then she gave them her number so that they could contact her if they had any questions. It wasn't a part of the experiment. They didn't have to, but she just offered the number as an option in case they had questions. And something like 8 out of 16 men who were crossing the high, scary suspension bridge called her. And on the low, wooden, safe bridge, 2 out of 16 men called her. And so the assumption was made that the men who were on the higher bridge interpreted their fear of being on the bridge as sexual arousal. And as time has passed and consciousness research has advanced, there has been a consideration that the brain actually often misinterprets the experience of the physical body as being something other than what it is. And the reason I bring this up is because I talk with a lot of people who are new to developing their mediumship skills and often have questions mainly about the idea of being afraid in the process of mediumship, being afraid that they are doing something wrong or being afraid that there is danger in connecting with the energies that make themselves known to us if we look for them. And my response is often, number one, I can't really elucidate that experience because I haven't had that experience myself. I never really had that kind of fear when it came to my connection to spirit. As a child, I did, in a way. I would have fear when it was dark in my room. But as an adult, as I have practiced my connection with spirit, I have no fear around it. So I don't have a lot of advice with regard to that. But this experiment that I've just learned about recently that showed that our interpretation of emotion might be something other than what it is really came to the forefront in consideration of people who are afraid of their connection to spirit sometimes. Because I wonder if that experience of fear is actually something else. If it is intense awe, or if it is excitement, or if it is just an unfamiliar experience that is interpreted as fear. And so once again, it just reminds us to really be present with a feeling, breathe with it, allow it, let it show itself to the light, and let it become a part of your energy field rather than running from the feeling. Because your interpretation of the feeling may be just as off as the blame you place on other people when it arises. And in this case, the blame you place on other energies. So it's possible that that fear is not fear at all, but rather something altogether different and something that makes sense, but isn't about survival. It isn't the brain reminding us to protect ourselves in a moment of danger. It is the brain misinterpreting the need to protect and rather experiencing a sense of awe that is unfamiliar in that time and place.